Everyone, welcome back to Truth Lies Shenanigans, the live show for season 2, episode 12. I go by the name Neo Nix, and I'll be the moderator for your show today, February 10th, 2021. For today's show, we've got our quickfire question, then our TLS spotlight on Black history with our friend of the show, Micah Payne from Black on Black Cinema, returning. And then we'll talk about hot topics where Rob is talking about YouTubers getting themselves killed, and Gianni brings up Asian Americans still dealing with Trumpers and looking for allies. So we should have a great show ahead. But before we get into it, let me introduce you to our wonderful host, our professor, writer, editor, journalist, sports guru out of Washington, D.C., Lizzie Enders. Sounds like you're muted, Lizzie Enders.
I thought it was me. Thank goodness.
She's not
Oh,
muted.
you're not? She said she's not muted.
Not muted.
Okay.
Muted. Yeah, I've got her full volume. All right. Let's see if we can fix Lizzie Ender's voice. So, and we also have our other host, our very own rock star with the amazing rock band Fallen Machine, coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario. We have Robbie Rock.
What's up, everyone? So I guess this is going to be the trend for me for the next little bit. A lot of birthdays going on, but today is a happy 77th birthday to my father, Robert Sr. So we're celebrating, we've celebrated Father
happy
today.
Birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
And again, I can't compete with the best gifts. My granddaughter came by to wish him a happy birthday, so I can't compete with that. I'm not that cute anymore.
She wins.
And streaming from Atlanta, Georgia, our model, actor, college student, and associate producer, Gianni Storm. How's it going, Gianni Storm?
Hey, guys. Everything's going good. I hope you guys are ready for the Valentine weekend. I hope if you don't have a date, then find something to cuddle up with and just enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the lover's weekend, even if it's self-love.
All right, Lizzie, Andy, were we able to get that the mic fixed? Can't hear you.
Not yet? Okay.
All right. See if you can reconnect. Let's see if that helps.
Come back in.
Come back. Come back.
He's yelling.
That'd be a great time for the audio to cut back in.
It would be, right in the middle of that. All right. So let's move on to let's move on to our hot quick fire question. Let's go ahead.
It's time for the quick fire. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. We got you back. All right. So let me okay, so quick fire question. Trolls recently hit up Halle Berry claiming that you can't keep a man, to which she responded, "Who said I wanted to keep him?" So what would you have said to these trolls, Gianni Storm?
Some men aren't worth keeping. So
very true. Robbie Rock?
I'd rather be happy and single than miserable in a bad relationship.
Lizzie Enders?
Stay out of my nana and my bed. Mind your business.
And I say she got it perfectly right. No reason to keep the wrong man. So, yeah. So what were your thoughts? I mean, what did you think about what she said? Lizzie?
I personally thought, men can't make up their mind. In one conversation, they could call us hoes because we got too many men, right? Got too many men, got too many baby daddies, got too many people calling us, cat calling us, or what have you. Then in the very next conversation, the very next sentence even, oh, but she can't keep a man. Well, make up your damn mind. But again, what I originally said, mind your business. What's going on over here? Especially, you're not my daddy. I have been raised, okay? I've already been raised. You're not my brother who still has no control over me as a woman. And you certainly aren't the man that I'm about to kick out of whatever is going on over here. So mind your business. It's Halle Berry, people.
Mm-hmm.
It's Halle Berry.
I know.
It's Halle Berry. And maybe
Halle Berry. Neo.
These men that can't keep Halle. Maybe they can't keep
there you go. Yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that one. Robbie
Stop
Rock.
blaming the woman.
Yeah. So
But see, I don't know what happens behind closed doors, and everybody owns their own special brand of crazy. So just gonna put that out there.
yep.
Oh, so you're saying she's crazy.
I'm saying everybody owns their own brand of crazy. I'm saying I got my brand of
It's
crazy.
true.
Girl, you know you got yours too. So
Yeah.
I'm not casting
It's true.
stones. This is just truth.
That's true. Maybe the guys can't handle her.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, if I'm being honest, I
maybe
mean,
she's a little alternative. Maybe she's
she may have had a lot of relationships. I mean, there's people who've had a lot of relationships. I mean, and I feel
She's in
like,
her 50s. She's
yeah,
in her 50s.
similar to what Robbie's
Oh,
saying,
is
I feel
she?
like we all go through stuff. And as you get
Mhm.
older, you start to realize you unknowingly pick a lot of people for that wrong reason. So we all make
Yeah.
mistakes, and hopefully we learn from those mistakes, and eventually you realize what you want,
Yeah.
and you still may not find it because, I mean, maybe she has some high standards. What's wrong with that? And then she realizes the person didn't meet. And there's a lot of players out there. Let me tell you something. There's some men out there that go after these beautiful women, and they play these games and all these games going after men. And because I've known a few, and they go after these beautiful women. The women think that they're, the one, and all these other things, and the men are lying. It happens all of the time, and it's unfortunate that attractive women tend to be targets of those players.
But you know what? Beauty is relative.
That's
So,
another good point. That's true.
beautiful. I'm looking at it from a perspective that 99.9% of the women out here are attractive. They're attractive to someone. But Halle has owned her stuff. I certainly, I'm in my mid 40s. I am probably the single most person that I know. I don't have a man. I don't want a man right now. It is the last thing that I'm concerned about and focused on. I have a career, second phase of my career that I'm trying to get off the ground. I have finances that I need to get back on track. I hopefully will be buying some property in a couple of years. Now, if a man kind of, falls in between that, that's fine. But I don't feel like, my life is over, or that the be all end all is having a man. I've had men, bad ones, bad ones. And thankfully, and I think what Halle is saying, thankfully, I have matured enough that I'm not going to make those same mistakes again. So I'm good being single. I
It took
don't
me a
miss it.
while to find the perfect woman, so I just
Yeah,
want to point out. I want to point out some comments online. We've got Angela Cherie from the Ever Evolving Podcast. She's online.
Hi, Angela.
She says
Hey, Angela.
what she's doing and who she's doing ain't nobody's business.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
Candace Winston said, Liz, that hair is everything.
Thank you.
George Fournier told Rob B to tread lightly. Sherry Blaine Priest said, Neo Nix, I'm glad you said it out loud. Some individuals being players, unfortunately true.
Players also, Neil, think about this. I'm sure, well, a lot of our audience that's into urban contemporary music, that's into hip hop, y'all have heard of the rapper Future. How many kids he got by different women? At least 7.
8.
At least 7.
7.
8. Never been married. He's been engaged a couple
Yeah.
of times. But he has 8 kids by several different women. Why is no one asking him or saying to him, he can't keep a woman? Why is the onus always on us?
That's right. Why she got to? That's right. That's a good point. Why she got to be?
He has
That's true.
7 babies with 7 different women. That's why he can't keep a woman.
but they're still having babies with him.
Yeah, he's
That's
still.
another
People keep dating him.
conversation. But his
About
his
money.
8th kid is a baby.
It's about
Is a
money.
baby. They're still having babies with him.
He's
All right, that was a good quick fire. So Lizzie, you were part of an all-star panel of sports journalists today, discussing
That's how
diversity and inclusion in sport. You with Bob Lee, BJ Spector. Did I say his name right? Yep. Schechter. All right. Yep. Schechter. I knew that. I knew that. It's just misspelled. Michael Smith and Charles Grantham. So, how was that? How was that experience? You did a great job. You really,
Thank
matter
you.
of fact, I think you were the star
job,
of the show.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone that took the time out of their day, their lunch schedule, to tune in. I was pleasantly surprised. There were a lot of friends there. There were my co-hosts were there. A lot of my students were there. So thank you so much for tuning in. I think that the topic was diversity in sports. And we were just exploring various issues and various reasons why.
Oh, did we lose Lizzie? Come on.
Lose me?
Oh,
No, we're
Oh,
still
no.
good. Sounds like we still got you.
Hello?
Okay, we got you. We got
Hello?
you.
Hello?
We're good. You're good. You're good.
You're here.
Hello? Woo!
You're
It's been a
good.
hard day on the technical side, y'all. It's been a hard day to listen. But yeah, we went over a lot of topics about sports, about the lack of representation in the four major sports, whether it's players or on the coaching level, in the executive level, ownership, the reasons for that, and who's responsible for building that bridge and making it better, making it so that you don't have a league that has 65% of their players as Black men or persons of color, but then only 3 actual coaches. So we had a good discussion, and a lot of the people who tuned in, they also had some good questions for the panel.
There were some
So
great
that
questions.
was as well. That was fun as well.
Matter of fact, I had a question for you that I
Nice.
held and didn't ask while I was on there because I figured I'd ask you tonight. So I
Okay.
noticed you guys talking a lot about blacks in sports, which is great. There were occasional mentions of Latinos, Asians, and females. So where do you think sports are at this point with overall diversity, particularly with women and Latinos?
Depends on the sport. I mean, if you're talking about hockey, 0. If you're talking about women is a little bit different because when you're talking about sports in general, because most of the sports are divided by gender. At least I say 5 major because we're going to talk about the WNBA here as well. They have their own league. But when you talk about NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL, those sports
But
are divided.
in those discussions today, you did talk quite a bit about ownership and
Mhm.
coaches, etc. So, and those are
I
not
did,
limited to like
but I
women. I mean,
what I
genders.
didn't get a chance to do though was bring in the gender aspect. We didn't have enough time for that because I specifically wanted to talk about how, especially now since you have women in the NBA as assistant coaches. You have women in the NFL as assistant coaches. And every time there's a milestone that's brought up in the media, they congratulate so and so for being the first woman or the first Black woman to coach in this league or whatever. Men lose their minds. They lose their minds. And so I didn't get an opportunity to bring that up,
Yeah.
but it's happening. It sometimes the wheels of justice turn slowly, even as it relates to diversity. I think for gender, it's going to take a little bit longer. One, because again, the sports tend to be separate, but also, there is a huge pushback by men in general. But as it relates to race, um, there isn't there aren't separate leagues. Like we don't have the Negro leagues anymore. Okay. So everyone is playing together. And so you would assume that once your playing career is over, once a player's has decided to retire, if they want, there would be an opportunity for them to move up to the top as it relates to being maybe an executive, someone in the front office, or they could be a coach, or they could look into ownership. But those opportunities are few and far between for minorities in these sports. And so that's one of the things that we did, focus on and discuss a lot today. I think that I came up with the phrase, that diversity in sports seems to have a glass ceiling because you're dealing with a lot of young Black males and with the WNBA, young Black females who come from humble beginnings. And so a lot of people in the general population just look at them and say they should be grateful for what they got.
Hmm.
They should be grateful that they're in a league where they can make millions of dollars. Why
Hmm.
are you complaining? Go spend your money. You're done. Go spend your money. You don't need to be a coach. When in reality, if you look at a lot of coaches in these leagues, nepotism is a huge,
Huge.
huge factor. A lot of coaches, especially older coaches who've had longevity, you look on their coaching staffs, their firstborn son is here, secondborn son is there, nary a bit of talent.
And
But
also who you know. So like a lot of people, like friends of friends and, good old boys clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So basically, we were talking about how, representation is important, but also you can't have this, okay, well, we're going to interview someone for a coaching position just so we can say we interviewed them for a coaching position. But we know we're not hiring a Black man to coach this team. And that tends to happen over and over and over again.
Well, it was a great conversation. Great conversation. I know you put it up, the full videos up on our webpage, on our YouTube and our Facebook page. Is that right?
I didn't
Definitely on
post it.
Facebook.
Did you
Oh no,
post it?
maybe we haven't posted it yet. Okay, so we'll post that after the show. We'll post that right after the show. We'll get the full video up there. All right. If you've never been to TLS before, let me tell you a bit about us. Our hosts share their truths and opinions with you, call out those lies, and point out any ridiculous shenanigans going on. And on our show, we always try to have some fun with some shenanigans of our own. Our show does stream live just about everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch TV, and TikTok Live. Just tell your friends to search at TLS Live Show across all those platforms. Also, make sure you subscribe to the audio replay of the podcast on iTunes, Google, Alexa, Pandora, iHeart to find us wherever you watch or listen to your podcast. All right, before we get into our hot topics,